Midnight Zephyr presents this story. Your feedback helps shape the next horror. What do you want to hear next? And subscribe so you don't miss the next night of nightmares. In the misty coastal forests of Astoria, Oregon, 25-year-old barista Lena Harper finally agrees to a casual beachside trail walk with her coworker, Jade, and Jade's new boyfriend, Victor, plus his enigmatic cousin, Reese. What starts as a foggy morning stroll along the rugged cliffs turns eerie when Lena, lagging behind after sharing a vape pen, spots a gaunt, ash-gray figure perched unnaturally on a driftwood throne far below. It rises to an impossible 12 feet, limbs like twisted rebar, and locks eyes with her before vanishing into the surf-pounded pines. As the group dismisses it as a weed-fueled mirage, Lena's phone captures a blurred photo that later reveals extra joints in the creature's fingers. Back home, anonymous texts warn her to delete the image or become its next collection. A local legend of vanished loggers resurfaces, and Lena discovers Reese knows more than he lets on. The fog clung to Astoria like a secret it didn't want to share. Lena Harper pulled her hoodie tighter, the salty Pacific wind sneaking under the collar and raising goosebumps along her arms. She stood at the trailhead parking lot of Fort Stevens State Park, squinting at the gray haze swallowing the tree line. A hand-painted sign read, "Battery Russell Trail, 4.8 miles round trip, moderate, moderate." That word had convinced her. Lena had lived in Astoria her whole 25 years, born in the same squat community hospital where her mom still worked nights as a nurse. She poured lattes at Driftwood Coffee on Duane Street, wiped sticky tables, and went home to her studio apartment above the pawn shop. Hiking? That was for the tourists who rolled in on cruise ships, decked out in North Face and wide-brim hats, snapping selfies with the Goonies house. Lena preferred her adventures on Netflix, feet up, cat curled on her lap. But Jade wouldn't let it go. Jade Park had blown into town from Portland 18 months earlier, all city polish and infectious energy. She'd turned the sleepy coffee shop into a social hub open mic Thursdays, pop-up plant swaps, the works. Somewhere along the line she'd started dating Victor Lang, a quiet marine biologist who studied tide pool ecosystems for the state. Victor's cousin Reese was in town for the week, crashing before his next research vessel gig. That's how Jade sold it. One easy walk, ocean views, maybe spot some harbor seals. Bring sneakers, not excuses. Lena had caved Thursday night over closing time chai. "Fine," she'd said, wiping foam from the steam wand. "But if I twist an ankle, you're carrying me out piggyback." Now, at 7:45 a.m. on a drizzly Saturday, Lena regretted every life choice that led here. Her sneakers' old Vans, not trail shoes, were already damp from puddles in the lot. Jade bounced on her toes in neon leggings and a rain shell that probably cost more than Lena's rent. Victor adjusted a sleek backpack, checking a paper map even though his phone had service. Reese leaned against a weathered Jeep, arms crossed, hoodie shadowing most of his face. He hadn't said much beyond morning when they picked Lena up. "Ready, team?" Jade chirped, clapping once. Trails mostly flat, follows the old battery ruins, then drops to the beach. "We'll be back by lunch." Lena forced a thumbs up. Lead the way, Ray poster child. The first half-mile was easy gravel path, interpretive signs about World War II gun emplacements, the occasional squeak of a startled squirrel. Fog, muffled sound. Even their footsteps felt hushed. Victor pointed out lichen patterns on concrete bunkers, voice low like he was in church. Reese walked ahead, hands in pockets, scanning the treetops. Lena lagged, already breathing harder than she'd admit. Jade looped back every few minutes, grinning. "You good?" "Peachy," Lena muttered, swatting a mosquito. They reached a fork. One sign pointed inland toward the campground. The other read, "Beach access 1.2 miles. Victor consulted the map. "Beach loops prettier." Tide's out till noon. Reese spoke for the first time, voice gravelly. Beach has driftwood piles. Good for photos, Jade squealed. Yes, insta-gold. Lena rolled her eyes but followed. The trail narrowed, roots slick underfoot. Ferns brushed her calves. The ocean's roar grew louder, a steady heartbeat beneath the fog. They emerged onto a narrow bluff overlooking the surf. Waves smashed against jagged rocks far below, spray exploding upward in slow motion. Gulls wheeled overhead, cries swallowed by wind. Victor set his pack down. Break time. 10 minutes. Jade produced granola bars. Lena accepted one, leaning against a boulder. Reese wandered to the cliff edge, peering over. Something about his stillness made Lena's skin prickle. He reminded her of the herons back at the marina patient, predatory. Victor pulled a sleek vape pen from his pocket. Anyone? CBD? Low THC? Calms the nerves? Jade wrinkled her nose. It's 8:30, babe. Nature's Advil, he said, offering it to Lena. She hesitated, then took a hit. The vapor tasted like pine and citrus. Another hit. Warmth spread through her chest. Okay, maybe this wasn't the worst idea? Wrist declined, eyes on the horizon. I'll scout the descent. He disappeared down a side path before anyone could object. Jade nudged Lena. He's intense, right? Victor says he's ex-Coast Guard. Did search and rescue in Alaska. Explains the brooding, Lena said, exhaling vapor into the mist. They finished the pen Victor 2 puffs. Lena 3, Jade passing. The fog seemed to thicken, colors softening at the edges. Lena's limbs felt loose, thoughts floaty. Victor packed up. Let's move before the tide turns. The trail switchbacked down the bluff, wooden steps slick with moss. Lena gripped the railing, heart thudding. Halfway down, Jade's phone buzzed. No signal up top, but down here, Rue, work email. I'll catch up. Victor frowned. Stay close. I'm literally 10 steps behind. Jade waved him off, already typing. Lena and Victor continued. The beach opened below a wide crescent of dark sand, littered with enormous driftwood logs, bleached bone white by salt and sun. Waves dragged pebbles back with a sound like bones rattling. Victor reached the sand first, kicking off his shoes. Feels amazing. Lena stepped down, sand cold between her toes. The vape buzz hummed pleasantly. She scanned for Reese. He was nowhere, probably off taking artsy photos. Victor wandered toward the waterline, examining tide pools. Lena drifted the opposite way, drawn to a massive pile of driftwood stacked like a fortress. Some logs were thicker than her torso, bark stripped clean. She climbed a smaller one for a better view, phone out for a panorama. That's when she saw it. Far down the beach, maybe half a mile, where the sand met a dense wall of Sitka spruce and salal, something sat on a driftwood throne. At first, Lena thought it was a sculpture, maybe one of those hippie art installations the rangers sometimes left up. But no, it moved. The figure was ash gray, the color of wet concrete. No clothes, or maybe its skin was the clothing, seamless and matte. It perched on a log the size of a pickup truck, knees drawn up, impossibly long arms draped over them. From this distance, it looked human-ish. Tall, though, NBA tall. Lena zoomed her phone camera, but fog and distance blurred the screen. Then it unfolded. Slowly, deliberately, like a spider testing the air. First the torso straightened, then the legs jointed wrong, knees bending backward. It rose and rose until it towered above the driftwood, 12 feet at least, maybe more. Limbs thin as fence posts, fingers dangling past where knees should be. The head smooth, elongated, no visible ears or hair tilted toward the ocean. Then, impossibly, toward her. Lena's breath caught. She was too far for eyes to meet, yet she felt the weight of its attention, like a hand on the back of her neck. The vape high curdled into something colder. She fumbled with her phone, snapping photos on instinct. The figure took one step sand, didn't shift under its weight, and another, gliding more than walking. In 3 strides, it reached the tree line and vanished between trunks wider than its body. "Lena?" Victor's voice, distant. She blinked, lowering her phone. Her hands shook. The beach looked normal again. Waves, gulls, driftwood. No gray giant. She checked her photos. Just blurry gray smudges against green. Victor jogged over. "You okay?" "You're white as a sheet." "I," words stuck. "I saw something." Jade appeared, panting. "Signal sucks. What did I miss?" Victor glanced at Lena. "Tell her." Lena swallowed. "Down there," she pointed. "Something tall, gray, like 12 feet. It was sitting, then stood up and walked into the trees." Jade laughed, then stopped at Lena's face. "You're serious?" "I took pictures." Lena opened her gallery. The images were useless fog, shadows, a vague silhouette. It looked right at me. Victor squinted down the beach. Probably a heron. Or a dude in a ghillie suit. Birdwatchers do weird crap. "It wasn't a bird," Lena snapped. Anger flared, hot and sudden. "It wasn't human." Jade touched her arm. "Hey, you're shaking." "Let's sit." They found a log. Lena's buzz was gone, replaced by a sick adrenaline churn. She described it again, the impossible height, the way it moved, the feeling of being watched. Victor kept offering rational explanations. Optical illusion, pareidolia, low blood sugar. Jade listened, eyes wide. Reese emerged from the trees 20 yards away, materializing like he'd been there all along. "Find something?" He called, voice casual. Lena's stomach flipped. Had he seen it? Victor waved him over. "Lena thinks she saw Bigfoot's emo cousin." Reese approached, expression unreadable. "Describe it." Lena did. When she finished, he nodded once. "Could be the Gray Wanderer." Jade groaned. "Not this again." Victor sighed. "Reese, come on." "What's the Gray Wanderer?" Lena asked. Reese sat, picking up a piece of sea glass. Old Clatsop story. Loggers in the 1920s claimed a tall gray figure followed crews at night. Took tools, left footprints too long for boots. One guy vanished. They found his lunchbox on a stump, sandwich half eaten. Jade rolled her eyes. Urban legend. Probably a bear. "Bear doesn't eat bologna and leave the bread," Reese said mildly. Lena's phone buzzed. Unknown number. She almost ignored it, then opened the text. ***, delete the photos. IT collects witnesses, no punctuation, all caps. Another buzz. ***, you have until sundown. ***, her hands went cold. "Guys," she showed them. Jade's face drained. Victor frowned. "Prank, someone overheard us." Reese took the phone, zooming on the blurry image. His jaw tightened. "Look," he pinched. In the corner of one photo, barely visible, the gray figure's hand, too many knuckles. Fingers like twigs reached toward the lens. Jade whispered, "Photoshop?" "Taken 10 minutes ago," Lena said. Her voice cracked. Victor stood. "We're leaving, now." They packed hastily. Reese scanned the tree line, body tense. The walk back up the bluff felt endless, steps creaking under their weight. Fog pressed closer, swallowing the beach below. Halfway up, Lena's phone buzzed again. ***, too late. IT knows you're sent." She stopped, heart hammering. "It's tracking us." Victor grabbed her arm. "Give me the phone." He powered it off, removed the battery. No signal anyway. "We'll deal with this at the car." But as they crested the bluff, tires crunched on gravel. A park ranger truck idled in the lot, lights off. The driver's door opened. A woman in a green uniform stepped out, hand on her holster. "Morning, folks," she called, voice friendly but firm. Trails closed past the battery. Hazardous conditions. Victor stepped forward. "We just came from the beach. Beach access is fine," she said, "but we've had reports of unstable cliffs. Need you to head back to the main road." Something in her tone felt off. Lena noticed the ranger's name tag, R. Lang ***. Same last name as Victor and Reese. Reese's eyes narrowed. "Morning, Aunt Riley." The ranger's smile didn't reach her eyes. "Reese, didn't expect you here." She glanced at Lena's phone in Victor's hand. "Everything okay?" "Fine," Victor said quickly. "Just a nice walk." Riley's gaze lingered on Lena. "You see anything unusual down there?" Lena's mouth went dry. Before she could answer, Reese spoke. "Just seals." Lena thought she saw a heron. Riley nodded slowly. "Herons can look strange in the fog." She stepped closer, lowering her voice. "Word of advice. Delete any weird photos. Tourists stir up trouble with that cryptid nonsense. We've had incidents." Jade forced a laugh. "We're not into Bigfoot, officer." "Good." Riley returned to her truck. Safe drives home. As they piled into Victor's Jeep, Lena's skin crawled. Reese climbed in last, shutting the door with deliberate quiet. Victor started the engine. "Okay, what the hell was that?" Reese stared out the window. "Aunt Riley's been ranger here 20 years. She knows every trail, every story. If she's warning us..." Jade hugged herself. "This is insane." "Lena, are you sure?" "I know what I saw," Lena cut in. "And it knows I saw it." A Jeep rolled toward the park exit. Fog parted briefly, revealing the ranger truck parked across the road, blocking the way out. Riley stood in front, arms crossed. Victor braked. She said the main road. Headlights flared behind them. Another vehicle, black SUV. No plates pulled up, boxing them in. Reese cursed under his breath. "Lock the doors." Lena's phone, still in Victor's hand, buzzed to life despite being powered off. The screen lit up with a single new message, sender unknown. ****, welcome to the collection. *** through the windshield, in the fog beyond Riley's silhouette. A tall gray shape unfolded from the trees, arms reaching toward the sky.